Okay, so shall we start?
Yes, please. We are live now.
Okay. Thank you, Sunil sir. A very warm welcome to everyone present in the third day of series of workshop on exploring food and beverage industry trends 2020. I, Saif Anjum, assistant professor at Vatel Hotel and Tourism Business School, Sushant University, Gurugram, one of the leading university in Delhi NCR, would like to welcome our distinguished speaker, Mr. Ajay Papi Gomes, our Dean Professor Dr. Garima Prakash, and our Director Vatel India, Mr. Loro Giro, and welcome all our panelists attendees present here. The theme of today's workshop is Dynamics of Food and Beverage Industry. We all are aware about the current situation globally, and especially when we talk about hospitality industry, it is a matter of concern. Where hotels was not operating since March, especially in India, as per the situation of pandemic, we all have to understand that situation will definitely come back on the same platform soon. But the question is, who will take care of all those changes in coming days? Who will make sure that all those changes are in an action or not? With new SOPs for new normal will be strictly followed by an individual, whether it is a customer or a server in a hotel, in a food and service outlet, or wherever we are encountering a guest. Mr. Gomes will help us to know about understanding and preempting guest needs and about the enhancing level of satisfaction. Now I would like to introduce our esteemed speaker, Mr. Gomes. In his 35 years of experience, he has been a corporate trainer, international coach, and a motivational speaker. Prior to coaching and training, he spent 18 years in hospitality industry as well. His forte lies in leadership and strategy development, sales and marketing. Apart from hospitality, the other sector that Ajay has been associated with are automobiles, banking and insurance, BPO, engineering and manufacturing. I think there is hardly the area left where Sir has not worked and where he has not given his contribution. He is a founder of E&M, where company help employees take immediate action to increase their performance and also help small businesses owner and new entrepreneur to attract ideal clients and set up measuring marketing system and double their business in approximate 6 to 12 months, which is something which is really need nowadays for every entrepreneur. He has facilitated various training program as well for various institutions such as ITM University Gwalior, University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Uttarakhand are few. Now I just like to call Mr. Gomes to take forward. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Saif. That was a wonderful introduction. I don't think I could have given much better than that. So it's
Not
been
at all,
a.
sir.
So first of all, welcome everyone, and I'm honored to be here, and thank you also Kulmohan for facilitating this opportunity. And I love to be with young people. You know, that's been always my passion and my dream to empower young people, help them to see beyond what's possible. So with that, let me start. So since although we have been waiting, and in the meantime, please keep on shooting your questions in the chat box, whatever questions come up. You know,
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
usually I like to do a one-to-one interaction. Like I don't know how to give speech. It's a very difficult for me to give speech. I can answer questions. You know, so let me begin with few realities. You know, so in that context, so as you know, so we are having the largest young workforce in the world today. Our population, the most number of young people. We have the increase in disposable income, rise in urbanization. So lots of cities are coming up, smart cities are coming up, which automatically allows us, you know, change in lifestyle and taste and preferences. Then we have increase in tourism. Now, what is that short-term memory? The short-term memory is, as of now, we are going through a bad days, bad time. But let me tell you, people will forget. We have seen a lot of bad things happen in India, but people forget, you know. We have a short memory because we are a very large-hearted people. So we are going to have a lot of tourism, especially in the field of medical tourism. Our spas and small centers are going to attract people because of our tradition, ancient tradition. So then we have increased awareness and accessibility of new products, and people are willing to, spend money on different products because of the increased income. And so on events, earlier we used to spend money on home cooked foods or use homemade decorations and whatever it is. But nowadays, people are buying from outside, outsourced. So there is a opportunity. Attractive destination for global players. India is now, you see, everyone wants to come to India. So for a short while, maybe we may not have so much of work, but let me tell you, we are going to have lot of work. Why? 1.25 billion people. That's like how many countries put together? We are among the top 3 economies in the world. Top 3 destinations for manufacturing, and with the ongoing China crisis, a lot of companies are coming to India, right? And it's also going to be a regional and global hub for operations. So that is the reality that we are at the moment in. So keeping this in mind, so this is on a broader perspective, this is what the reality is all about. Now this is what is all about. Like, if you have a product and if somebody asks you, what kind of product, what will you do? A lot of people come up with a lot of, my product is the best, I do this, I do that. But my idea of business is, look for a hungry crowd. Find out who all are hungry, because hunger drives everything. Now this has a bigger definition. Hunger has many kinds of angles, right? From intellectual hunger to physical hunger and mental hunger, psychological hunger, all kinds of hunger. So when you are looking at business or your performance, whatever, the fundamental thought would be, where can I find hungry people? So that is the fundamental way of looking at things. So what is the approach it should be? Respond, which means the current scenario, whatever the scenario is, how you respond, how you recover, and from there you thrive. That is the mindset, thriving. But for that, you need to be alert all the time. We had a motto as a scout boy. You must have heard of scouts and guides, in the schools. We had a motto of be prepared. Always. So that motto has always been with me personally. And a lot of people in the business world were already warned, pre-warned. I have a recording with a business owner about 7-8 months back when I advised him, something dangerous, something bad is going to happen. The market is going to crash, be prepared. And that recording I still have. I didn't have idea about the corona, but because of my association with certain people in the corporate world, in the research world, they had predicted that something is going to happen. Now, the coronavirus happened as an instant, but those who are prepared, companies like AT&T, they had run a system of, if a pandemic happened, they had a system, they already ran the whole system. Like in hospitality, we have fire safety drills every 6 months, 1 year, to be ready. So that is what is required, always be ready. And let me tell you, worse is yet to come. Those who are thinking about getting away from this crisis, worse is yet to come. So keep that in mind. So those will be rebels. So, and this is another good news for you. The industry will bounce back. It has in the past. It will pass. These are two topics that we're going to discuss today: guest facilitation and limitations, in the limitations, how to do that. So first of all, what is the context? What is the mindset that you need to have? Because unusual circumstances will keep on happening. Accidents and untoward incidents will keep on happening. But what it requires is the mindset. The people with the right mindset, I call the growth mindset, they will thrive. So at the current scenario, you got to look from the perspective. In this presentation, I would like to present from the various mindsets, from the various perspectives. So you have the owner's point of view, those who manage the properties, those who own the buildings, right? So they have their own perspective. Then you have the stakeholders, the people who have invested money. So they have a different take on to deal with the situations. Then you have the management, those who run the operations. A lot of hotels, a lot of institutions are run by people from outside. They have been given the venue, given the hotel and the property to run the business. So they have a different outlook to the problem and the solutions. Because they have to pay. They have to pay the owners, they have to pay the employees, the vendors, the suppliers for the electricity, tax, legal services. So they have a different view of it. And also earn from the money. So the two aspects for the people who are in the operations. And then you have the employees. So here I will address, what it says. Adversaries are opportunities to grow, prosper, raise standard, expand, diversify, collaborate. Because the future is made from a theory. And that theory comes from vision and purpose and social value. This is what will drive those who use this principle, those who take this into heart. This is what will be the crux of your whole operations into the future. So the three areas that I would like to focus, first is the operation. You'll have to do a lot of adjustments and readjustments into the operations. Take human. Technology has to be involved, embedded into the human activities. So those who manage to use technology and human resources, but what is important, speed. Like in the corporate, in the tech world, they say data is the king. I say in operations, speed is the king. Whoever is quicker will win the race. And the third category of working is the finance, which is the most important thing. So at every point of time, at the end of the day, rokda mangta hai bhai. So that's what drives. So you have to take care of these three areas. So in the operations, you have the management, the facility, guest demands, menu, and all kind of things that you will come across from the customer side, because they will have lots and lots and lots of demands, sometimes weird demands, sometimes impossible demands. So from the operations point of view, you have to really gear up, and I'll tell you what you have to do. Finance, obviously, that is not the platform here for me to discuss, but what is driving this current scenario and how you should, that mindset I talked about. The VUCA. VUCA is a corporate term they have used, which is V for volatility, U for uncertainty, C for complex, and A for adverse, then F for fear, E for expectations, D for doubt. So this is what the whole world is now engulfed into. There's too much of volatility. uncertainty, there is complex and ambiguity. Things are not clear. And then
Sorry, sir. Sorry, Mr. Gomes, to interrupt you. Actually, your voice is little low. Like, if you can just check, sir.
okay, so from where
Now, not better.
from
It's
where
better
should
now.
I repeat? From where should I repeat?
No, it was okay. You can start from here only, sir. The voice is better than them.
Okay, so the VUCA fed world. See, the VUCA fed world, when you use the brain science, we have different parts in the brain. When you are under stress, when you are operating from fear and uncertainty, which is the back part of the brain, from the neuroscience we call it the amygdala hijack. The amygdala is part of the brain that always keeps you away from taking risk. That is always fear driven. That is because its job is to keep you safe. Because it was developed thousands of years ago for the human being to stay away from danger, from animals, other animals, when they were living in the cave. But now we have evolved. We also have brains which in the front brain, which is called the prefrontal cortex. Now, if you want to really thrive in any business, in your performance, you have to operate from the front end of the brain, which is called, you have to activate the prefrontal cortex. It is not automatic. This part, the amygdala part, the back part, or the reptilian brain, or the old brain is automatic. But the prefrontal cortex, it needs to be activated. Like we call it Tisri Aakhe, the third eye. It requires activation. It requires a lot of work that is at the subconscious level. So whatever mostly our performance that we do, they are all from the conscious brain. And the conscious brain only takes about 5 to 10% energy from the brain. Most of the work is being done from the prefrontal cortex, the unconscious brain. That is taking away all the energy, and we have no access to that. Whatever work we do, all the skills, they're all from the conscious brain, which is only about 5 to 10% energy it gets from the brain. Which means no matter how hard you do, you're not going to get that kind of results. So what we require is to access the prefrontal cortex, access our subconscious brain. So coming back to answer the question about guest facilitation amid limitations and ensuring guest happiness. What do the customers want from their eyes? So our focus should go away from features and benefits and advantage of our work. We glorify ourselves. Ours is the best hotel. Ours is the best institution. That mindset has to alter. What we require now is to look into the eyes of the customer. What do they want? So what do they want? When they come to a restaurant or a hotel, first thing, khana tasty honi chahiye. Tasty bhi, now healthy bhi. So health conscious, and then safe also. Safe bhi, enjoy bhi, and then value for money. Now this is the new mantra that if you want to really thrive, keep this in mind. And the customer wants to know, what's so unique about you? What's so special about you? Why? Why should I come to your place? If you can answer that, all the rest will be taken care of. So far, any questions anybody has? So I can go forward. Any questions?
So like, yes, you are explaining about this. So what do you think, like, when that day will come, when we will follow all those things, and we will be in that particular the place where we can enjoy our food, or we can go to with our families and friends, and how it will take care by that particular management, how easy it this for from the management perspective, those who are serving us.
Right. So from the management point of view, this is where you have to build your brand. The brand is the answer. What does brand means? Like these questions, that the last thing, Is your food tasty enough? But not only tasty, is it safe out there? Everything that is required for you to save, what all things will be there to in place so that customer knows, yes, it is safe out there. It is secure out there. My health will not be compromised. So there are tons of activities that is there that you can do all of that. I cannot go on here because it will take a lot of time. I can take a separate class on that. There are at least 100 activities that you can do to make the people feel safe.
Sir, it is possible to share a couple of activities, like which is the major one, one or two which are in practice?
Sure. So first of all, when a customer walks into a property, the first touch point is what? The gate. So at the gate, when you can show that your people, there is a smart person standing there who's dressed spick and span, his gloves on, he's got mask, he's got all the things ready to scan the person. You have spray, light spray, soap, and then the body temperature checked. He's given hand sanitizer, sanitized, and as he enters the venue, he finds that everything is spick and span. He enters the restaurant. People are all geared up. There is a picture in the mind of the customer in the new normal, how a waiter should be, how our housekeeping staff should be, how a manager should be. So you display on the board that we are fully sanitized, everything is secured here, and you have a display of all the materials that is available. There is a board that runs through on a scrolling board that whatever safety is required, we have taken care of. You have certifications, you have all the display of everything that is required. There is a distance being maintained, 6 feet as it is said. So the social distancing is there. There is a constantly monitoring of movement. So you have a TV displaying every part of the property is shown that distance is being maintained. There is security everywhere. You have sanitizers everywhere, from the toilet to the gate to the washroom, everywhere. So these are some of the things that you can take care of. You are maintaining, there is no crowded place in a restaurant. There is a distance. There is no crowd in the bar. There is a distance being maintained. Right?
Exactly. So just one thing in adding to this, like obviously it is affecting the the revenue part of the particular outlet or a particular restaurant or a hotel. If we talk about especially a fine dine restaurant, where a guest is always go, like they prefer to go when they have the time to sit and enjoy the food and beverage. If we talk about some wines, some cocktails with a good food, course by course, and it takes time to enjoy that particular entire meal, 1 hour or 2 hour or 3 hour. So
Right.
it is obviously affecting the sale, because now the number of guests which we are dealing with is less, because we cannot allow beyond that. So would you think that it will be called for a rise in the price of the particular menu or the dishes, because somewhere we need to cover up all those things, because the expense is still there only. We need to give the salaries, the overhead expenses are there, which is the fixed cost which we have to pay. Whether 2 or 10 guests are sitting in the restaurant, we have to pay the electricity bill for the particular period of time. So how we can cover up those things? We talk about the monetary part, and the revenue part in
Okay.
coming
So
days. So it will affect
right.
the price of the menu also.
Right. So there are two ways to look at it. One is there is something called Apex money that can be used by the organizations. A money that has not been used to cover up a certain amount of cost. Secondly, this is a time to survive. So you got to maintain just to survive for a while. Now,
True.
you can increase the price. When you have established, like you have taken care of all these, the points that I have mentioned, if you can take care of that, if the customer knows, yes, this is safe, this is good food is there, and I am enjoying, I have value for money, raising up the price to a certain percentage will not be a matter.
True.
If they find, and why I'm telling you, if you can establish these 4 points, and they know you are unique and you are giving special, they will be your ambassador. You will have
Exactly.
people waiting outside. Remember, few years ago
True.
in Bukhara, I was in Bukhara where they had given anniversary rate, the old rate in the new situations. People waited almost half a kilometer. When an Apple product is launched, people wait for days outside the showroom. Why?
Exactly. They want to
So
buy the product because they like the quality, and of that particular product, and they will just want to try the one product only at whatever the cost is.
they can buy it after a week also at a lower price.
True.
What is the difference? What is the difference? After 1 week, why they don't want to wait 1 week? The brand value, because they are fan. So as an institution, if you can create yourself fans, not customers,
True.
that is where I always say that create fans, not customers, not clients. Because fans, when they don't use logic, they are very emotionally driven. So you have to create fans out of your customers. And if you follow these steps, if you have that growth mindset, always looking at from customers' point of view, listening more. Like if you see on the top I mentioned meaning of life, communication, service, and attitude. Communication is showing empathy to your customers, understanding from their point of view. They're afraid. They'll see a little bit of thing in a hotel and they'll start yelling. You'll serve them well. They'll say, no, this is not a good service. That is where your empathy comes. They are not trying to blame you or make you feel guilty. They are afraid. They are scared. So that is where empathy comes in. You got to be assertive. They will be aggressive. They will use galis. I have faced lot of galis especially in nightclubs when they got drunk and they started using foul language, even at a time where somebody had a gun. But because in hospitality we have training and we have that service mindset, we have managed. And hospitality itself, they're already trained. They already have that in their genes, service mindset of being assertive, not aggressive or defensive. So being assertive, that comes from having empathy, building relationships, and that attitude, in times of adversity, how cool and calm you keep yourself. This is what the customer is looking for. In spite of all the bad things that the customer does, you do a good service, he yells at you, he throws out the food, and you stay calm and with a smiling face you serve. That person will feel guilty and he will come back with other customers also. Because you have built yourself as a brand, you have shown your class. Value, that is the thing. You got to be obsessed by creating value. That's what the customer wants. When he understands, when he gets that you are a value-driven organization, you care for the customer's point of view, there will be no looking back. Yes?
True.
So this is the next phase. What will require? You got to be a leader. Every person, you have to train your staff from the janitor, from the gatekeeper, to the masalchi, the stewarding guy who washes dishes. Each one becomes a leader. If you can instill them, empower them to be a leader, they will do whatever is required. They'll go and find out. They will come up with innovations. For that, first thing is you got to acknowledge. I have seen many managers showing partiality to certain people. This is the time where you acknowledge each and every person. The brutal truth. Face the brutal truth. Don't hide under the carpet. Reality is, it's a bad situation. Then how will you do this? Building trust. Number one. Then integrity. Never go back on your word. If the customer says some things accept it and do whatever it is. Don't go behind. Then care. The customer should feel that you really care, because that's what the hospitality industry is all about, caring, right? And then communication. The future shock, a shock will come anytime. There is no like Corona will go away. No, something else might come. So you have to be prepared. So for this, couple of things that is required, like Peter Drucker says, innovation and marketing. You have to continuously keep innovating and keep marketing. Now, marketing, I don't mean that you have to have big bash, product launch or something like that. Each person in the organization can do marketing. Marketing is being present in front of the customer as the best person. What can you do? Like we say in hospitality, sir, how may I serve you? How can I help you? So with that mindset, marketing is every touch point in the organization. We call the moment of truth, MOT. Moment of truth means what? That every touch point for the customer, he has a camera, an invisible camera on his forehead. It is clicking, taking snapshots. And what is that snapshot doing? Yes or no? Is it for my service? Is this person, is this place serving my purpose? It is clicking. It keeps on clicking snapshots. So that is what the marketing is all about. So every touch point in the organization, they should project the brand. That obsession, everyone. The second is the disrupting innovation, as propagated by Professor late Clayton Christensen. He was a great friend of mine. He always talked about you have to have that mindset of disruption. How can you disrupt somebody? Two hotels at the same place, one is doing very well, other is not doing very well. What is the difference? So you have to go out and find out. Do some research work. Second one is blue ocean strategy. Rene Marbon is a proponent of that. So there is a red ocean, a blue ocean. What is the red ocean? They talk about competition. They operate in the same market. But a blue ocean strategy means you are done away with competition. There is no competition. Why? Because you have created a new kind of customers. You have to think about using innovation. How can I get in more customers who usually don't go to hotels or restaurants? What can I do? What can I bring into the organization that new customers can come in? How can I reduce my cost and give a good product? Right? Then, as I talked about meaning of life, Viktor Frankl, the three qualities: communication, keep communicating, being assertive, experience, make the customers experience. That service is your way of life. It is not a job. You're not coming to the hotel or a restaurant to do some job or deliver some food. That is your way of life, your self-expression. Like a dancer, when he dances on the stage, at the time the dancer and the dance become one, and the crowd becomes one. That is called experience, creating the experience. So when you can create that experience of wow, when a customer comes and he goes out of the restaurant or the hotel and he says, wow. So that is what you create for him, a meaning. The customer finds meaning in his coming to that restaurant. It was meaningful. I went there. It was really good. And then the Stoics have the olden days, the Greeks, the Stoics were very, very down to earth. They always said, be prepared for the worst. Always be prepared. Like, in F&B we call it mise à plat. Mise à plat means keep things ready. You don't have to run around for things. So that is what. And then create awareness. Being resourceful. Being resourceful means, okay, this is the situation now. I have limited qualities of stuff, limited quantity. How can I be resourceful? What can I do with what I have? I can share an experience with you many years ago. Please don't do this if you don't have the backing of your seniors. It was in the night time. I was managing a restaurant and we had a tie-ups with airlines. And every day during the winter season, there used to be fog and there used to be layover. And the flights used to get cancelled and those passengers used to come in the hotel for food, free of cost. The airlines used to be paid by the airlines and the hotel had a different setup. So in the restaurant, we were not getting paid anything. So for us, it was a complimentary food for the customers. Now it so happened many times during the night time they used to come in big crowds. We would not have so many materials in the kitchen to cater to. And I had informed many times to the front office manager that please inform me an hour before or 2 hours so that I can inform the chef to prepare the food. 2-3 times it happened. Last moment they say, Mr. Gomes, we have a layover party of 50 people, 100 people. Please arrange food. Now it so happened once in the night time, all the chefs had gone. It was a night shift and 100 people came over. Those days there was no mobile phone. And I went and told the chef, this is what it is, about 100 people. He says, I have to prepare for my breakfast buffet in the morning. I don't have staff. How can I give things? I don't know. I cannot give you food. Now it was a very, very important airlines business. I had no access to anybody. What can I do now as a in charge of the restaurant? I could tell them, sorry sir. Officer, that please, we have to break the store. You know, people, we are a hospital. So I told the security officer, I will take all the blame, whatever happens. We went, broke the store, bought out stuff, get to the chef. Now the next day, a lot of blah, blah, asked me to leave company. Am I? Hello? Hello? Hello?
It's audible,
Mr.
sir.
Gomes? Yes, sir, you are audible.
Ajay,
Okay,
we can
because-
hear you.
Okay, because I saw some
Yes,
sign
sir, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, so that's
electricity fluctuations.
okay. So that's how I got the thing broken and then got out stuff and gave to the chef. And although next day head office a huge loss was averted. Otherwise, because if that day it was not, if I would not serve the customers, we would have lost that client, and it was a big client. They had huge reputation. So that's how all being resourceful. Because I was operating from my creative brain, not from my fear brain, the reptilian brain, the old brain. So that's how you can also, move forward in the organization. Too much change in too short time, a period of time. So that's how, the brands will win. Because the economic value of the industry is huge, 4,23,865 crore. So now it will depend how much you will take from this pie. Okay, next question.
So, like on this only, too much change in too short a period of time. So it is a very tough situation because changes are happening on a very the faster rate which is required, but on the same way, like it is very difficult to handle all those changes from the
Absolutely.
perspective of a customer and the perspective of the server also. So to
Absolutely.
adapt the changes and to to make it as a habit, in those changes, to live with those changes. It's little difficult nowadays, which we are getting into the habit and which we are in a situation where we have no option to avoid all those changes. So obviously it will help for a long period of time. But so just one thing, like in this only, but like as you were telling, about the customer and about the perception of an individual. So what do you think, like in coming days, what will be the picture of a hospitality? What will be the image of a hospitality industry in coming days or in coming year? It's totally changed, we know nowadays. If you talk about, so what will be the real picture of hospitality in coming month or year? It is from the the perspective of Indian hotel industry.
Okay, so first of all, as I said, face the brutal truth, the brutal reality, which is things will not be the same for maybe another 9 months to 2 years. That is going to be there. The estimate of the industry, that 9 months to 2 years, the things will remain a little bit not as it used to be, it will be as unusual. You have to.
True. It is difficult for like both sides to to manage this time and to take care of all the things in coming months, year.
Right.
It's a very tough job basically to
Right.
manage all
And
those things nowadays.
absolutely. Like as I said, fear drives everything. If as long as the fear is there, uncertainty is there, doubt is there, so you, for any organization, those who become a brand, they will win. You have to
Exactly.
work.
That's
Yeah.
true. The thing is that with hospitality industry, which everyone knows, we cannot work from home. Like nowadays, other industries, they are working from home, that have a opportunity to work from home and the bridge the gap. But we as a hotelier, we cannot work from home. We need to be
Right.
in the battlefield. We have to go. We have to serve. We have to take care of all those things with all those precautions and all. We cannot sit at home and work, and we cannot earn money while sitting at home. Like other industries, they have the opportunity to work, and especially at this time of pandemic, this is the I think this is the very toughest situation for the hospitality industry. We don't have any option. We have to go to the hotel only. We have to go to the outlet if we want to serve, if we want to get the revenue.
So that is where the management has to be innovate. Like I remember like a few days, weeks ago, the Taj has started home delivery service.
True. Yeah,
Right.
all good brands, they have started a home delivery services. So to cover the gap and to recover the monetary part, basically, those people who are not able to join to the hotel, they can go, they can send the food. Because last week only I heard, like it's a Radisson Sona, they have started
Right.
a new concept, a vehicle in which they are providing all five-star services to that particular group or a couple of people. They can go and enjoy all the luxurious of a hotel, like they are in the hotel in that vehicle, and food will be there, personal butler will be there, chef on a call in that particular vehicle. It is like you are sitting in a hotel, and
Absolutely.
you are coming out from a house in that particular safe environment. So new concepts are they are coming in the market to attract the guests towards the particular brand and to sell what they want and to get the maximum revenue, and they try to convert things in this in that way, so that anyhow they'll get the money back to the company or the guest. They are started coming back. So these are some new concept they are
There are a
starting.
lot of
This was a new
in big
initiative by the Radisson.
Yeah, so the farmhouses, they can also be rented and they can be used, to serve, because there is a huge spaces out there. So farmers can be, and even in the hotels also, if you can convince the customer that there is a distance is being maintained, hygiene is being maintained, and at the end, if you can take away the fear from the customer, if you can convince them, that it is safe here,
Exactly.
people will
But
come.
exactly. But I must say,
Yeah.
true, sir. But I must say, in a hotel, in a banquet part, everyone misses the ballroom party where 500 people, 1,000 people are coming together and they are celebrating some event. So that will not gonna happen for coming month or year, because 50 is I think 50 is the minimum. Maximum you can
Right.
take care of a people at one spot. So that kind of events will definitely like affecting the the business of a hotel or a banqueting, because that is the major the area from where we generate the revenue. We talk about
I
in
get that.
hotel
So that is
or events, or the banquet is the major revenue earning area. So it's very difficult to come on that platform where you can catering a large number of people at under one roof in one banquet hall. So everyone is missing those parties and all. So let's see, like when we are getting that particular crowd again, when government or when situation will come under control and they'll allow us to go ahead and you can do like that. It will take time, so years, 1 year at least, like everyone knows. Still everyone is at home and they're trying to do things at home, and they are not coming out from the home until unless it is very emergency, or they need to go out. So that fear is still in everyone's mind, will be there for
yes.
longer period of
So
time.
that's why I said it will take about 2 years, and those who will be ready by that time, because there is going to be a rush. Once that opening happens, people who will be prepared will earn a lot of money.
Exactly.
So this is the preparation time for the war.
True.
So a lot of new concepts will have to come. The spaces, the hotels, rooms can be given out. A lot of activities can be outsourced. Like nowadays in a hotels, you have 20 to 30 different activities that happen that can be outsourced. That way the maintenance cost will come down. You can use the rooms for certain rooms for offices, so the corporates don't have to use hire big buildings. They can use the hotels rooms as an office. So there are a lot of innovations. That's already a lot of things are there.
True.
That
Just to cover up the
to,
gap. Yeah, exactly.
right. So,
So,
but in the end, as I said,
yes, sir.
yeah, carry on.
No. You just carry on, sir. Please.
So I said the people who looks from the point of view of the customers, and management looks from the point of view of the employees. Like the employees are also human beings. They also need security, safety, money, right? So those management who take care of the employees and give them assurance, those organizations will thrive.
Yeah, exactly, sir. Exactly. So, I'll just open the forum for question and answer for our panelists and from attendees. So, already we have some questions lined up in a chat box. So, I'll just read out the first question is from Ms. Rupali Chandra. To
Okay.
ask, what according to you is the needful that can be done to bring knowledge of hospitality sector at senior secondary level, being previously a university professor and now a school teacher for hospitality? I feel there is a serious lack of awareness basically in people nowadays. What exactly it is?
So there's a professor who's into the hospitality now.
Sir.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes,
so
Mr. Combs.
as I said,
can hear you.
first of all, so there are two ways. One is, why have you chosen this particular line? What is your why? That needs to be first answered. Why have you chosen this particular line? The second is being resourceful, which means if you do an internet search, you will find tons and tons of materials available there. You talk to Google. Google will answer you. Because as I said in one of my points, that people are aware now. Customers are more aware than before. So that awareness is already increased. People are trying out different cuisines, different restaurants, different foods. So for you as a teacher, you've got to understand the psychology of the customer. So study more research on the psychology of the customer. What do they want? Search what solutions they want. And at the same time, you have students. So find out what the students want. Talk more to the students. Involve them in your studies. You're not there just to give stuff, because there is an information overload nowadays we have. So the more you engage your students, what do they want, what life they look into, what are their fears, what are their aspirations. When you work with them as collaborators, not as I am the one who's teaching you, you are student, you should listen to me. It is a world of collaboration. So when you have that spirit.
True. So it is possible to switch on your camera so that we all want to see you. If it is possible for you to switch on the camera, sir. I think some network issue is there. If it is possible.
Yeah, my camera is on. I don't know what's.
But it's not visible. Your video is not live actually. It's okay if it is not happening. I thought I'll just ask you once. Maybe some network issue is there. So I can just go to the next question. It is. Do you think we can develop much skills and mindset aspect in this situation of pandemic? From Mr. Victoria.
The mindset
Mr. Gomes?
can be developed.
Sir, your voice is not coming actually. Hello.
Okay. Mindset can be developed anytime, anywhere.
Exactly.
Like Viktor Frankl, like if you read his book, The Meaning of Life, is Search for Meaning. Read that book. When he was in the concentration camp, how he managed himself. So it's all attitude. And for that, as I said, what is the vision you have? What is the purpose? So you need to answer that question, why? Whatever you are doing, why you are doing that? What is the higher purpose? Any person, any organization, when they work from a higher purpose, they become resourceful. They will connect with those kind of people who will help them. They will meet with those kind of circumstances that will take them forward. You must have heard of law of attraction.
True. Exactly, sir. Questions from a panelist. Obviously, there are some questions from a panelist. Though they want to clear. I'll please invite everyone if you want to ask some question from Mr. Gomes. Deepak, sir.
Mr. Gomes. Yes. Mr. Gomes, any
Yes.
advice at your side for the student?
Could you please repeat? I couldn't get it.
I said is there advice from your side for the hospitality students? What qualities they should have? They should try to acquire.
Okay.
Deepak, sir, can you write on the chat box? I think some voice problem, network problem is there. We cannot hear you properly. So if you can write in the chat box, I can read out for you.
For sure.
No. I think what
I got the question.
You got it,
I
sir?
got the
Okay.
I got the
thought
question.
maybe some communication gap is there, so that's why.
No, I got the question. So for the students, first of all, do your curriculum, complete your curriculum with 100% dedication. The study part. Do the study part with 100% dedication and discipline. Number 2, have the spirit of service. Develop the spirit of service. Study, read, research what service is all about. Learn about value creation. What can I give? What can I serve? So that service mindset. As an individual, what can I bring to the table? And for that, what kind of person do I need to be? Work on personality development. That is the number one work that as a student in hospitality you need to. Develop your personality to be fit. Because when a customer walks into a restaurant or an hotel, when he meets those people, you are not the doorkeeper, you are not the waiter, you are not the manager. You are the institution. You represent that brand. So the customer has those expectations from you. So you are the brand of that institution. So for that, you need to develop yourself to be that brand. So for that, you need the mindset of service mindset, discipline, always eager to learn and contribute. Does that
Sir.
satisfy?
Yes, sir. Totally fine, sir. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so there is one more question from Ms. Lavang. Yes, Kulmon sir.
Yeah, I know you, Ajay, that you worked so very, very hard to become what you are today. And I used to see you work in Bukhara. I've heard many stories about you doing day shifts, night shifts, everything you did. And finally, you managed to become a manager and a general manager, and now you are running your own consultancy company. It's a long, long way. I think the only thing which you had in you was hard work and patience, which unfortunately is not there in the students of today. You did not get anything on the platter, but the students today want everything on the platter, and they're very restless and they want to get it, want to reach. Everyone wants to become the general manager. Everyone wants to be big. And I always tell them that the more they invest on time, the more they learn, the more language and experience they acquire, the better they are going to be as a manager later on. So, what is
Absolutely.
your message for such restless and over-ambitious students?
Okay, so first of all, this is the reality, today's reality.
Yeah.
So if you are asking that question as a faculty,
Yeah.
so my answer would be by telling them it won't work. They have to be given that experience. Again, why? I'll come back to why. Each one of them has to have a why they are in that institution, why they want to work in that industry. Because many of them don't have that vision. They don't have that, what it takes. So experientially they have to be taken to that journey, through that journey. They have to be given that experience of the end product. Unless they have that experience of that end product, by telling them it won't work. I go to a lot of engineering colleges, MBA colleges, where many of them have come there because of their parents, because of the legacy. Okay, father was an engineer, mother is also engineer, brother is engineer, so they go to engineering college. The son also has to be. Now that becomes difficult for the kid. But once I work with them, what do they want? What is their passion? What do they are willing to give up? And it's like in the middle of the night, if you wake them up, what is the first thing they will love to have? That they will jump up from their bed. So when you can identify that, like for me, if I'm dead drunk in the middle of the night, and if somebody says, you have a training program tomorrow morning, or you have to start now, we are sending you the car, I will immediately run. Why? Because that's what my passion is all about. So as faculty, you have to create that with your students.
Passion, we need to create passion. The love for the profession, we need to create that, instill in them that this is what's
Absolutely.
going to be. But yeah, right, because do not be restless. Every fruit takes its own time to become ripe,
Absolutely.
That is what we need to tell them, and this is what you have confirmed this also. Good, thank you very much for answering my question, Ajay. Anybody
Thank you.
else?
Yeah, anyone else from the panelist? Hello. Okay. So there is one more question in from attendees. It is for I'll just check. Mr. Puneet Rajdhan. Before commencing regular operations, hotels need to give rigorous training to their employees so that they get used to the new normal of operations. How will hotel be able to execute the same and overcome this challenge? Training related to the new normal for their employees, which is one of the major tasks basically carried out by everyone in the hotels nowadays.
So the question should be actually answered by the management, no? If they are giving the training, if the training is given by good professionals who have the experience of handling customers, and if the trainees take the training to the heart, if they are given proper training and they are taken into good faith, many times training is imposed on people. So when a training is imposed, it doesn't have that kind of efficacy. But when the training is accepted by the trainees, that it is something good for them, they will accept it and they will also contribute to the execution of that training because they know it is good for them. So they will definitely do that. So make the employees not as outside you, make them your partner. So when the management makes the staff as their partners, they themselves will go out and implement all that they have learned. It's not that difficult. They can also send.
Voice is breaking. Hello, Mr. Gomes.
Yeah, carry on.
Yes, sir. The one more question is there. As a professor, can we suggest to include more of risk management on the course of business hospitality, and maybe the industry may provide strategies to the academia, especially for the crisis that may affect the F&B industry?
Okay, so crisis management is always there, part of the hospitality. Crisis and conflict, that's what we are dealing with all the time. But you don't have to overdo it. As I said, this is a temporary phase. In general, crisis and conflict is part of hotel industry. You'll always face. So you don't have to overdo it. What is more important is, again, be customer focused. Try to find out as much as possible what the customer wants. As I said, tasty khana, safe khana, enjoyment, value for money. So that is what is more important. And from the infrastructure wise, from your point of view, keeping your everything safe, sanitized, fire extinguishers everywhere. Staff is well aware of everything to do with sanitation and safety and medicine and all the equipments, so that crisis management normal is okay. You don't have to overdo that. But what is required is have more practical case study and simulations and role plays. That is more important. That will get you more, other than having an academic way of doing, more case studies and role plays and exercises on real time. That will be more valuable.
Exactly. So I think we have touched all the questions, cleared all the doubts of attendees and panelists. If still someone is there who want to ask question, is open, forum is open. So you may please go ahead and ask and clear your doubts. If anyone is there from a panelist also.
No, I just wanted to appreciate the way in which Ajay Gomes has put everything, and he had extremely good answers and practical answers to everything. And I'm really obliged for that, in fact. And thank you for coming and joining us in spite of your busy schedule. Over to you, Mr. Anju, Saif Anju.
I take this
Thank you.
opportunity to, Steph, 1 minute. Mr. Gomes, I take this opportunity to thank you for your insights, for your valuable ideas, and it has been a great session. It was great listening to you, and we are really grateful that you could take time out and be present on this webinar. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you. And actually,
Thank you.
I want to thank you because for listening to me and with this broken network. So that's my apology that, it was a great pleasure actually. I love this. In fact, you allowed me to play my games. This is my game and you allowed me
It was really a
play.
wonderful session.
If
And
you
thank you
consider
so much.
your work as your game, then I'm sure you're playing a good one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gomes, for sharing such a wonderful experience and knowledge with us and with our attendees and panelists. Some of the points which we were not aware about those things, obviously, by your experience and by your the expertise, we came to know about such points. You have touched all the points which is required nowadays to fulfill the gap between the customer and the server. And definitely it is a wonderful session. We always try to organize such kind of session with you in coming days or a month related to the workshop for the student and for the faculty, where we can learn more and more from your experience, which will be more beneficial for
Sure.
us, especially if we talk about the online mode nowadays. We are crossing our fingers when we'll back to the same normal position situation with our students sitting in a class and we are teaching them. It's totally everyone is missing nowadays that particular the environment where we can interact with the students. So thank you so much, sir.
So my final point is, don't be afraid. If you are keeping yourself healthy and safe, this virus is not that dangerous.
Exactly.
Just
Willpower
keep
is
your
required.
immune system strong. Yeah, just
True.
keep your
Exactly.
immune system. That is all. So
Exactly.
thank you very much, Saif.
Thank you so much,
And,
sir. Thank you so much once again to everyone, to all our panelists and attendees. So still 2 days to go. 2 more workshops are there tomorrow and after tomorrow. So I'll expect all those tomorrow at the same time at 4 o'clock for our next series, next topic of workshop in the series. Till that time, see you and stay safe, stay connected. See you tomorrow at 4 o'clock on the same platform. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye.